Hi guys, and welcome back to some more Hearts of Iron 4 as we play through as the German Reich. Big heavy tanks. We're going to see those heavy tanks in action today. So a lot of you have been suggesting in the comments, hey Mark, why don't you create more puppets to help control the populations and the revolting peasants? The peasants are revolting, yes. We will install more baths and sewers. But anyway, the reason is that, and for those of you who aren't aware, when we expand a massive empire like Germany, we were basically painting the map black, every country you occupy then has resistance, because guess what? People don't like it very much. We can reduce that through various policies and beating them down literally with agents and Gestapo and stuff like that. If we release a nation like France as a puppet, then that's cool, because we don't have to deal with any of the resistance. They get those problems. In fact, I don't think it becomes a problem for them at all. And when we're dealing with resistance, we have to assign a certain number of soldiers as manpower. And that's why you see me create these various police divisions to sort of manage that. So if we release a nation as a puppet, we get all the manpower back that was otherwise garrisoning it. We get more soldiers for the army. Great, right? So why don't I do it? Well, there's a focus in the German tree, and this is why we don't do it. It's the autarky focus. If I can find it, it's under the trade section, and it's this one. And it requires the German Reich to have acquired a vast amount of resources within its empire through conquest. And as far as I know, puppets and trade deals don't count for this. So we need to actually own the land that's producing all that shit so that we can trigger that, get rid of the MIFO bills, consumer goods factories issues once and for all. And then once that's achieved, we can then puppet people and get all the manpower back from garrisons. That would be the way to do it. So that's why you see me painting the map black, is to achieve that. That's how that mechanic worked when this came out, I believe. But do let me know if I'm wrong about that in the comments. So that's why we are going to war with Hungary, because they have some valuable... Well, they have various things that are valuable. All the resources are good, the aluminium and stuff. But they have a little bit of chromium. Okay, that's not really worth going after. It's a tiny amount. But we're doing it for a bit of flavour as well, because they weren't very nice to us in the talks and discussions. So screw them. We're having them. And also, I mean, we can invite them to the faction right now, but technically that would be the sensible decision to do if we weren't going down this particular economy tree. If you're playing the game differently, then do take those sorts of things into account. That's why we're also going after Sweden rather than wasting time on a trade deal, because Sweden has the most bountiful supply of goods up here. It's the tungsten and the chromium that's so valuable to us up there. We're going to grab that. Of course, when you conquer a place like that, you don't get the entirety of its resources. However, we'll get a good chunk of the stuff. And that's why we're probably also going to go after poor old Portugal as well, because this has a vast amount of tungsten. Now, other people, when been playing the game, I've been reading up, have cheesed this mechanic a little bit by going after places like, I mean, British Malaya would fulfill the tungsten requirement. That is something valid to go after, actually. And the Dutch East Indies, we get all the oil and stuff. However, we don't really have much of a presence out there. We'd have to work on the naval game and get our way across. So lots of options to do this. We're staying close to home before we get involved over in the Pacific. And we'll get a load from the USSR. I think that focus is to drive us to war with the USSR, because they have a lot of the materials we will need. And of course, they're on the list as well. So the sooner we achieve that, the better. Anyway, back to today's plan. What have we got? We've got loads of stuff. Let's have a look at our special projects. And now, it's been suggested, because we're currently at war with Britain, we don't have any bomber force that can go over and realistically raid. The tactical bombers I've got are poor, let's say the least. I don't really want them for strategic bombing. We're not building heavy strategic bombers. And so one option that was suggested was rockets. And you know what? That is not a bad idea. So make sure we're going down this. I don't really want the helicopter, just because they didn't feature in World War II. They weren't... I think there were actually designs of them around, but they didn't play a part in the game, in the war. So I don't feel like I really want to use them. People say they're excellent. So if you're playing multiplayer, non-historical stuff, go for it, try it out, let me know what you think. The jet engine we're saving up for, so we're going to go for the jet engine in there. What about the land warfare? Oh, we're doing the self-propelled heavy howitzer. We've actually got two guys working on... Oh, no, we haven't. Ah, interesting. They work on separate things. We can't assign them to the... I could bin him. We don't really need two. Do we want to do that? We might want to later. I don't know. We'll leave them going. So we're not inviting Hungary to the faction. Another excellent suggestion you guys made was to get Spain on board and invite them to the faction, which they won't do. Stage coups between you and them will automatically... No, they won't do that. We might be able to persuade them by improving relations, and there's a focus that we're going to go down. The reason I want Spain in the faction is because they will instantly take Gibraltar. Gibraltar's much easier to take from the land side than it is from the sea. That would solve that problem instantly. It would cut off the Mediterranean. Well, not entirely cut it off. It will do if Italy manages to take, there's the Suez. That would be brilliant. But Italy, let's say, a bit of an unreliable wild card in that respect. They can do it, but we'll see what happens. But we get that out the way. The Mediterranean is ours. North Africa then falls. Things are looking good. Turkey is likely to come into our fold or our sphere of influence at some point. We're kind of working that over. So lots of things to do. Greece has joined the war against Italy. Italy's asking for help with that. Well, screw them. They can sort themselves out. They started it. If we have to, we'll get involved. Wow, you guys need a bit of training. You guys need... Oh, I think I put you on over in there under... Yeah, you were kind of desperate. Right, let's get you trained. I think we were getting bombed and I put those guys straight into the air, but there's nothing happening anymore. Do we have aircraft? We should have. Ah, we do. Very nice. Let's put a couple of fighter wings in. Do we have anything else? And a couple of ground support. We have a lot of ground support aircraft. Oh, and some naval bombers. Perfect. Right. Let's get those guys in there. And make sure they're all on training until they're finished. And the naval bombers, I'm going to put them... It'll tell me when... It won't tell me when they're ready, will it? Let's put them down here in Pilsen. Nowhere near the sea. They can learn to fly over there where it's nice and safe. And then we'll put them into action somewhere useful after that. All right, let's roll the clock and see what happens next. Air wings with no mission or assignment. Oh, ground attack aircraft. I should probably assign them to something. We'll worry about that in a bit. We'll roll this on. So I'm short of resources, but not by a huge amount. With resistance everywhere. What are my resources? It's just rubber. Okay, that's good. Demonstration of military achievements. We were going to go down that line because we kind of wanted to quickly get the resistance growth, division recovery rate. They're fairly quick. I might grab them now, you know. It will help with resistance quite a lot, but it puts everything else back 70 days. I am going to try and go for an alliance with Spain, and then we can sort out Portugal afterwards. So let's get Italy. Oh, that's bypass. Perfect. I mean, they're already in the faction. So we're going to work up an alliance with Spain here. Do you know it's only 35 days? That's not long. Let's take that. Meanwhile, we're waiting. Sweden allows military access. They're under our control in all but name. So they'll allow us, our troops to move through if we wanted to go and help Finland. However, were we justifying war against them? Oh, I thought we were justifying war against these guys. Has something cancelled that? I could have sworn we were justifying war against these guys. Anyway, 25 days. So, unless there's a political decision, is there? Seizing gold reserves. Campaign instructions against the Kingdom of Greece. It would help us. It won't help our allies. We're okay for maximum support. We don't have to worry about that. We don't have a huge... Invest in Turkish state building. I'll play with that. I'll play with that. We don't really have the political power to it, but... donate fighters to Bulgaria. At least 12 fighters in the stockpile. It'll increase our opinion of us and facilitate cooperation. I mean... Yeah, it doesn't cost anything. We've got some old biplanes that we can throw in there. Finnish proposal for a continuation war. Member of Finland's ruling circle have reached out to us regarding the prospect of military cooperation against the Soviet menace to the east. Their proposal would allow the stationing of military assets within Finland on the condition that we protect one another's borders, as well as work together in any aggressive incursion to Soviet territory. So, this will give us military access, enact docking rights, non-aggression pact. We will give them... It looks like we will give them a load of stuff. which we can afford to. All right, we can do that. Infantry equipment, support equipment. We can afford all of those. We will gain a claim. Oh, I think it's Finland. Yeah, Finland gains those claims. That's all right. And it's only when the German Reich declares war. Yeah, let's do it. Just make sure there's no records of this agreement. So we're not instantly going to war, which is fine. But it does mean that when we do, we can have an army stationed in Finland, and we can, if we want to expand out of it, we might want to navally invade because the land becomes ours. Now that's something very important to consider. We don't want these areas. I'll tell you why we don't want these areas going to Finland, because it's full of steel and chromium. That's why. Right, we've got the improved air-launched torpedo. We are waiting for the engine before we redesign our next level of 1940s aircraft. Now then, there was something else I wanted to buzz through in the research tree. Oh, we've got some we've got some lovely research bonuses there. We're in December. I could go for the advanced radio, because this helps reinforce rate and coordination, which is it's very important. Coordination basically allows your attacking units to focus fire on one enemy defending unit in a battle, or increases the effect of that. So that's quite nice. We could increase this. I've got some of these to put into divisions. That's I must remember to do that now. The armor. I do want Flampanzers. Oh, I want this, don't I? Because we're gonna have to work with the military police. Oh, there's so much to get. Oh, Marines. We're going to focus on Marines. We're going to get those now. We're going to do some naval invasion, so we're going to have them. All right, let me see what happens. So we are preparing for a war with Sweden, which should be fairly brief. We need to make sure that Britain doesn't land anywhere. Adolf Hitler questions the motives of Sweden. Yes, how dare they come over here selling us their flat-pack furniture, assembling it with only a single Allen key and driving us all mad. How dare they do that? That deserves invasion. Anti-partisan is now maxed out. So our spy business, that one's useful to go for. Let's screw it. Yeah, let's get all those on. We'll check our construction queue. We're doing AA guns and radar at the moment because I'm quite happy with the level of everything else, with the possible exception of infrastructure, which we can maybe add on. I can't see any. We want to use this when we're going to get some extra tungsten, but I don't think we have a lot in our own supplies. We'll worry about that after steel and aluminium, which we're getting loads of. Worry about that after Sweden. Okay, we have a mountain division. Stick them in there. These guys are up in Norway. Train them up. Right, cool. Let's get on with the fighting. They're raiding me. Ah, okay, in the Ile-de-France. Let them. Enemy agent detected. Good. Good. We're fine. British operative captured. Excellent. Our guy's doing a fantastic job there. Let's have a look at our agents and see what they are doing at the moment. Operations. We have no one at home. We're doing a collaboration government over there. We're rescuing a captured operative. And over here, we've got this up to 72%. We're going to try and get that up a bit higher if we can. That's where we're rescuing a captured operative. Trotsky survives assassination attempt. They'll get him next time. Agent killed. Is that mine? Appears that Eric Gimple, one of our agents deployed in the Soviet Union, has made the ultimate sacrifice and died in the line of duty. Reports from Soviet sources are naturally sparse, but it appears that Eric was being tracked by Soviet counterintelligence. Seems likely that he was about to be captured. They either chose death to avoid giving out vital information or was killed by Soviet agents. Not great. I'm going to have to admit, that's not great. Okay, we've got engines 3. Brilliant. So our aircraft, we may as well get these and these because we're building those things anyway. How are we doing with the Navy? I think we're doing the 1940 submarine hull. That's good. That's going to be one of our key things there. God, there's so much stuff to try and get just done. It's a nightmare, but I guess we could do that. It gives us breakthrough. Yeah, let's spend one factory. In fact, if we're going to do it, we'll do it that way around because that's more important. We'll go multi-role. That's kind of how we're using our tactical bombers in this. And let's snip over to the support companies now. And I'm going to get the military police. And then, I don't know, I think can we just build them from that bit? I think we can. I think once we've got that, we can just create them. We probably have to assign factories for the production of such things, though. Right, we've got so much anti-air. That's brilliant. What did we want to change in here? We wanted to add mechanized equipment. This is going to be important, and this is going to take a lot of resources. So let's put them high up the list and reduce. Now we've got these. Actually, we're not going to need all these trucks. I'm going to cut the trucks down, and we're going to put maximum into there that we can. And I think. Nice. The improved heavy tank production is coming along quite nicely. I mean, we've got 8,000 support equipment. I'm actually going to take some out of there to start filling up this. And we're going to build more military factories. And I think we can probably take at least... I think we can take 2 out of the anti-air because we've got a huge stock of that. Right. That all looks good. So we're going to start getting a lot of mechanized stuff. Yeah, let's make sure, because we are going to need a lot of that stuff. It's going to take a huge amount of rubber and everything else. But that's cool. Ace pilots we don't need to worry about. Let's go and change our... That's the Austrian stuff. Let's bin that. That's either Austrian or Danish, which we're not using, so let's make sure we're not making mistakes there. Cavalry 1930. Are we using that one? We're not using that one. Let's get rid of that. And get rid of that as well. Okay, so we've just got our stuff. I like our police helmet. I'd forgotten about that. Alright, so this infantry from back here. Now we get the AA guns. Support anti-air. Put them in there. We've got super heavy howitzers. Save. And does anyone else need that? Probably these guys. What else would I normally put in there? I would say AA. Let's put AA in there. Yeah, support anti-air. I think that'll be very valuable. We have enough points for this. So that's cool. Anything else we care about? Cavalry. We're going to be doing away with cavalry. I'm not spending any more on them. And the motorized infantry is actually going to be changed over to mechanized infantry. So I think I will... Yeah, go on. I'll put them in there. We'll put them in there as well. All right, that will do fine. And the regular infantry, we are in the process of updating those, but it's... Justification is done. Excellent. King Carol II abdicates of Romania. So he's gone. Right, this is going to be fun. We're going for a winter war in Sweden. I don't think they have enough stuff to really resist us here. Oh, I was doing Hungary as well, wasn't I? I forgot we we're going to do that. We're going to do both at once. Screw it, yep. We're going to do both at once. Off we go. Yeah, I'd forgotten we got this one ready. So, Rommel's guys. We're just going to battle straight through to Bucharest. Straight through. And then let that kick off. And then we get the Panzer divisions. And the cavalry, I guess, which are going to go straight through. We'll leave a couple behind. And we cut the country in half. And is it this Red Army? Oh, they need some promote. Oh, he's got a... No, I'm going to move him out. Get him some more experience. He's going to be in charge of the mechanized stuff that comes along. So, we just need to trigger his order. I'm fairly certain that's going to cope by itself. So let's go take a look over in Finland. And what armies do we actually have up here? Right, trigger that guy. And we have the cavalry, which is there. They are not quite so well off for points. Can you become are you a cavalry expert? Yeah, let's put him as a cavalry specialist. For now. We can remove that role later because we're not going to need them. Oh, Interesting. We're not actually covering the border up here with anything. Never mind. Let's hope that that battle goes through swiftly and we don't need anything up there. I should have some mountaineers somewhere. If I can click on them. Where have they gone? Oh, I've pulled them back to there. I think we're just going to march them in. And we're just gonna march them in and just cross the country with them. Meanwhile, we've also got these guys in this little force who are going to navally invade. We don't have naval supremacy? Really? Well, let's fix that then. Let's put you guys onto strike force in there. Let's do it like that. And then we will just trigger the... Triggering the invasion. I'm sure we will get naval supremacy, so I'm just going to trigger that as soon as we can. Alright, let's see what kicks off. That's obviously going to upset an awful lot of people. But we can afford it. Yeah, we're going in nicely there. Join wars. We don't need Italy's war involved here. Look at this. The fall of Budapest. We weren't even there in time to see it. We've got an alliance with Spain. Now then, what does that do? Do we just invite them? So it removes from Spain recovering from civil war. So that actually fixes that problem for them. And see if they'll actually join us. Brilliant. So whilst that's playing on. Ooh, so many awesome choices to make. This stuff is all doing its own thing. We don't get to choose these, do we? We could go for the Wolfpack tactics. For the submarines. Oh, okay. I'm going to get that now because we are fighting a war here. I've been missing out. So let's go to the Navy Command. Holy shit. I should have been doing this, I think. Convoy warfare. Seawolf trait. Let's put that in. It's all about the subs. This is all about the subs. Submarine primacy. Research speed and design cost. Not so worried about that one, actually. Destroyer research, integrated designers, naval refit yards. See, repair speed might be good. Naval experience and... Okay, we'll go for the refit yards, just for the repair speed. Surface raiders. Night fighting could be a thing. Torpedo screen penetration. No. Positioning, I suppose, is good. Positioning's always good. Okay, now, do we have any points on this? We want convoy interdiction. Let's power down some of this. Unrestricted submarine warfare. Okay, that's cool. That's going to make a nice difference. And over in the air, we're going to max out air XP here. Right, that's perfect. So we can just spend anything else on plane designs. And over on land... We don't have a bonus for this, but we'll grab it. We want the Blitzkrieg. Armoured Spearhead. Not that we're doing any armoured spearheading in Sweden. It's not exactly good tank country in the middle of winter. Let me see if I can send... Oh, I see what we want to do over there. So we're going to just leave one guy behind each time. And we take the new capital. Brilliant. Let's go grab that. Nationalist Spain accepts invitation to the Axis. None can stand against us. Perfect. Okay, so what we're going to do is call to arms. That's going to deal with Gibraltar. We have an ally there now. They join the Axis of Evil. How's the war for Sweden going? Good. So we're expecting them to deal with Gibraltar. We just need to march in through here, really. The fall of Gibraltar, that happened really fast. Okay, that's excellent. Let's keep working this one over until we've got all that. Expeditionary from the Zardaman... No. No, not interested in expeditionary forces. Thank you very much. They'll let us down at some point. So, Sweden's kind of invaded Norway. Sort of. The cavalry's trying to batter its way through the mountains when it doesn't need to. It really doesn't need to. Let's leave one behind. And let's go down here and let's see if we can get all the way to there. And there's anywhere where there's a nice empty space, we should just be advancing into. Like here, for example. Let's make sure we get Karlstad. And I'm guessing that we still haven't got... We have got naval supremacy. There we go. We've got 8 divisions about to make a naval landing on this place. And we're in. And the really cool news here is that there's actually nothing defending against that. So that's awesome. What have we got? We've got a massive stack of forces. All 72 divisions come right at once. This is one of our garrison forces. We may split this up to use for other things, but for the time being, we're going to put in a low-level commander. This dude will do. And just train them up. Yeah, there's too many guys in there. But if we assign them to garrison duty, these guys are on garrison duty and only need 43. So we should be absolutely fine. We might assign it to Spain, actually, because Spain's got a lot of coastland. And I don't fully trust. Do you know what? The Allies might have a go at occupying Spain. So that's not a bad idea. We just want naval areas. I think my other army can probably cope with... That's it. That's it. We'll put some in there as well. There's a risk of land invasions there. But Spain's now involved against France. That's going to be interesting, actually. Let's see. Can we put these guys into an army group? Just purely for the fact that they will get some bonuses if anyone gets attacked. Do we have anyone that we can promote? There is a focus we can take which will promote some of these guys for free. So, as we don't really care about it too much at the moment, we'll just stick them in there. That's absolutely fine. Alright, so, more importantly, the invasion of Hungary, which is now well and truly chopped in half here. Where's the new capital at? Oh, it's there. Let's make sure we get it then. It should. These guys should be on the point of collapse. I can't see. War in South America. Okay, that's not our department. We'll just ignore that completely. And they've capitulated. We get a nice supply of stuff, actually. That's pretty cool. Great news. Done. Job. Done. Finished. Excellent. Probably a great deal of upset. I imagine that the Hungarians aren't terribly happy about that. This place, these aren't involved in the war as yet. I suspect they're very soon about to get involved. We need more guys on there. Let's put you on this particular border here. Like that, 24 divisions. And yeah, I foresee this being a thing, but we're going to try and maybe talk them into capitulation. I don't know. We're going to also train those guys up so they're in full fighting order. Where's this lot? Okay. Ah, I forgot this was a thing. Yeah, we could have invaded Sweden this way. Damn, that would have actually been relatively useful as well. And I should have done that at the start. Never mind, those guys probably aren't quite ready for the job, so we'll just train them up. That's not a problem. And now we can play with Sweden again. Let's go and see what's going on. So we've got 8 armies into there. Do you know what? We may as well do it. Plan a naval invasion from there against Stockholm with just 4. It's okay. It's 2 divisions. Just 2? There's supposed to be 4 divisions on that. Why is there just 2? Oh, because they're going to different places, maybe? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I'll set it off anyway. In fact, let's just... Oh, I know why it is. I know exactly why that is. That's the reason. It's still got its old order. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I kind of wish those would change. Let's make sure we've got 4 on there. That's fine. And do you know what? We may as well select the other 4 as well. And let's go here and here. And that can trigger the whole thing once it's ready. We'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, let's have a quick scan out, make sure disasters aren't happening elsewhere. I could do with sending something to North Africa to help. I think I need to help. Oh, God, Italy's getting its ass kicked in Greece. As was historically accurate. That's a thing then. Okay, we will consider our options there when the time comes. What's the free military factory? Oh, sorry, this one. No template for mechanized equipment. That's okay. Guys? Can we link up